Today we're speedrunning through Sonic and the Black Knight, and we'll start the speedrun as soon as I click on adventure mode. Right away we'll get a couple of cutscenes that obviously we skip, but the basic premise of this game is Sonic gets transported into a new world, and to save this world he's going to have to use a sword. So yeah, this is the Sonic Zelda-like game. At least that's what me and my brother used to call it all the time when we played it. I have a lot of fond memories of this game playing it on my Nintendo Wii, and we'll see if it holds up through this entire speedrun. But for this first level, it's pretty much just running through the thing. The game is trying to teach me how to play, but instead of learning, I just skip through. Yeah, like right here, I'm just jumping past all of this stuff, and they really want me to do a combo swing here. I'm not going to do that because I'm trying to go fast, and we can finish out the level right there. So that's going to be the first level, but there will be plenty more. We get through this whole screen. We get another cutscene, which of course we're going to skip. Thankfully, this game actually has skippable cutscenes before we select our next level. And this is still a tutorial level, but it has you do a little bit of harder stuff. And in this one, we're also going to want to retrieve the sacred sword, which is a weird talking sword. It actually brings the game a lot of charm. But yeah, we're gonna go and try to get that. Right here, I can do this little technique of going back and forth. If I keep switching between the left and right, it's going to give me a little bit more speed. And while this section isn't that long, it will save a little bit of time, so might as well. But after that, we're gonna see some boars, which I'm supposed to block, but instead I can just jump over and not waste time. So obviously we're gonna do that. You can also see all these cardboard cutouts of people. Now the game wants you to not hit them, so you can practice not hitting them in the future, but when have I cared about other people? I'm just trying to go fast, man. So instead, we're just gonna plow straight through them like you'll see right here. I don't care about them. I'm just trying to survive these boars, which I got hit by one. But that's fine because we can go right through there, get a nice little speed boost, and it's time for our first little like mini boss, I guess you could call it, because we come back to the training area, but this time we need to fight against a dragon. And this dragon is pretty simple. So the attack we want to do is jumping in the air and then swinging downwards so we can get a few different attacks on him at the same time. And once we get enough of those attacks, he's going to go into this phase, which all we have to do is block right in front of him, then do that attack. We're trying to get 2 hits right there. We can block one more time, get 2 more hits, jump on his head, slice off the crystal or horn, I guess it is, but it kind of looks like a crystal. Anyways, we get through all of that, and now we can just run to the end of the level, finishing another one and retrieving our sacred sword. I guess not yet, but in a cutscene we don't see. And the cutscene would be right there, but I'm just gonna skip past it because now it's time to fight against King Arthur. So he's gonna have his nice horse, but thankfully I'm Sonic, so I can kind of just go fast. And it's a pretty simple fight, especially in the beginning. I just chase after him, and then I have to time my sword swings when you see the Wiimote shake before then jumping, hitting him once, and then he runs away like a little wimp. After that, we have a couple of different enemies, which I just have to jump past before we do pretty much the exact same thing again. I mean, the fight felt really cool as a kid. It might be a bit more simple than I remember, but now we can do a nice little one of these grinding sections where I go left and right one more time. And this one is a little bit more tricky because you'll see on his third swing, he actually waits it out a bit, and that has messed me up a few times. But after that, we just go and destroy him. It took 3 swings, and we defeated him and caused his horse to just leave him. Yeah, not the most loyal horse in the world, but that's gonna open up a new level, which is gonna be another training one. The thing about this one though is it starts us right here, and you already know I am not paying attention at all. I'm just gonna go straight through, also hit these cardboard cutouts. I don't care about the people. Look, all Sonic cares about is going fast. He doesn't care about humanity. But with that, we open up Camelot Castle, where we're gonna get some really good upgrades from the blacksmith. So we'll start by running through the mountains, and yeah, pretty much just a standard running section at first, but you'll also see that finally they're going to add in more enemies. And for these guys, pretty much all I do is go over to one of the sides, and then if you just tap A so you slightly jump, you're gonna get this dash jump thing, and it just lets the enemies not hit us at all, so I don't have to worry about them at all. There will be forced fights later on, but for now we don't really care about these guys. I mean, they're probably terrorizing the villagers, but whoever said that was my problem. So after a bit right there, we get to the bridge, and this is the part where instead of dashing, we're just gonna go straight on and do this little dodging. It's a little bit harder than it might seem, but not too bad. Before actually taking out these guys, because we wanted that boost right there, it was a little bit of a time save, but I guess we didn't get it. We can also try to hit these guys just to make us go a bit faster and try to get a combo swing before ending the level right there. And this lets us meet Tails, or the Tails of this world, who is going to be the blacksmith. Now obviously, again, we're not watching the cutscenes, but yeah, we meet Tails and he gives us a new power, which we're going to try out here. And this new power is called the Soul Surge. So you'll see there are a bunch of fairies, and some of them are red. Now that's going to fill up the bar on the bottom left, and for these enemies, now we can use that. We're going to want to time it so we have more of the Soul Surge and we can use it for longer. But in this stage, we're going to want to use it on 10 different enemies while also being on the ground. Yes, actually, if you do it in the air, it just doesn't count. So I do have to kind of be careful about that. But that's going to be 9 of them. I can go get a little bit more red before hitting this guy. And then, yeah, we're skipping the rest of these people. Sorry about that, villagers. I got what I needed out of this. And there's still a tiny bit more learning that we have to do, because now it's going to teach us how to do soul surges in the air instead of the ground. But here's something really cool. We can use these when there are no enemies to get super speed. And we're going to use that throughout the run, obviously, because it's a speed run, and it actually does some really cool stuff. But for now, we can also get this pretty cool combo. Just going to go slice all these people. Got 9 hits right there. And the rest is pretty simple. Like most of these levels, we kind of just dive all the way through before we jump, get this last guy, and then we can run to the end using a slight soul surge to save a tiny bit of time. And now we're on to the next level, which actually we're going into the deep wood. And I really love this level. Not because it's like objectively the greatest level, but because we get to commit a crime. We just steal this person's wagon without even asking them. So yeah, this is a little bit of an auto scroller section where all we really do is wait for these guys to jump on us, and we want to hit them with our sword. So yeah, no way to speed this up, but I mean, it's just kind of a fun section, and I love how Sonic literally just stole this. So yeah, we'll go a little bit off course right here, and I also want to swing before I see these people because I can actually kill them first, and I'll do that multiple times because we do want to defeat as many enemies as possible to get our soul surge bar up more. But finally, the horse just crashes into the ground. We don't even check if it's okay. So that's kind of messed up. But then at this point, we're gonna go and run all the way through all of this stuff. And you also saw that we got to dodge all of those different obstacles, which is a really nice thing about the soul surge, because normally I would actually have to play well and move around those things, kind of time my jumps, all of that sort of stuff. But instead of doing all that, we can run straight through all the different traps and make it right to the goal. Yeah, you can see why the soul surge is good for speedrunning. Also, I wonder how many times I've said soul surge in the past like 5 minutes. Please don't count that in the comments. But now it is time for another boss fight, and this one is going to be against Shadow, or Sir Lancelot. Now this is a pretty simple fight. I just want to dive at the dude, get hit on accident, and basically I want to go for the same attack where we do this air thing. Now this boss fight is kind of annoying against Shadow. Like sometimes we can get in this animation, which does do a lot of damage to him, but it's also a bit slow. We just have to hit him a couple more times though. I'm gonna go for, okay, we got in it one more time, but this should be enough damage to finish him off. So then he goes away. Far too careless. Yeah, you kind of suck, Shadow. And that's another boss done. And this just opens up a bunch of more levels, and unfortunately for these ones, we actually have to help the townspeople. So like for this part, we have to give them rings, and before we do that, we have to take care of the enemies. So you'll see I'm going for these jumping attacks, just getting rid of these people. There's one more, but then they get these dialogue options, and instead of just taking my money, they make me do quick time event. Can you call those quick time events? Well, they make me press buttons. Also, this is really funny. Watch the guys in the background. They start moving and then they stop when I start talking to the person. It's kind of hilarious. But that's 3 of the people we have to get. We only have to give 1 more townsperson money, so we'll go straight through here and stop being scared. Okay, we'll skip that person. Before then, we'll take out those people. We can give 1 more person this money, which, why do they make this so complicated? This is literally free money. And yeah, other than that, we're just gonna ignore them. They're literally cowering in fear from these monsters, but Sonic is like, yeah, that's not my problem. Instead, all I'm gonna worry about is jumping past all the rest of these enemies and making it straight to the goal. But this next part doesn't let us abandon all the people so easily, because this mission is to defeat 50 enemies. So that means we kind of have to actually save some lives. Now, the most efficient way of taking out a lot of enemies is doing that move. Basically, we have to press A in the air and then also swing like a tiny bit after, and it's really finicky, but when you do it right, you'll see that we kind of auto aim on all the people, and it's a really efficient way to take care of so many enemies. Please get out of my way. But yeah, we're basically just going to be going through that. We're not too worried about getting every single enemy though, because there's an abundance of them, and missing a few here and there won't really matter. We also have these traps, which I'm just going to go dive past and really just ignore them before taking a couple more kills and making it over here. Now at this point, I can see I have 37 of my enemies defeated, so just a few more. I can take care of those guys. There's some more right here, which, okay, controller, please. All right, anyways, 4 more enemies, but there's still a good amount of the level left. We can go through all the different traps, just not worrying about it right there, before finally meeting a couple more people, and this should be 50 nice and easy. So that means we can finish this out by just jumping and staying to the right. Yeah, the tried and true strategy of not helping anyone at all, or only the minimum amount. So now that those levels are done, it's time to go to Camelot Castle. And for this one, we're gonna start out with another ring mission where we gotta give the townspeople 80 rings. So this is gonna start again with just getting a bunch of them, not really worrying about the enemies. All these people are happy for some reason, they don't need the money. But after that, we have to attack some people and find these guys, you know, pretty much the same thing. But I like taking these two townspeople, giving them rings, and then we'll get the two other people at the end of the level. So I am completely ignoring these people. I like how they kind of teleport and stuff. It's kind of funny. And we can also use a soul surge right there before trying to do a huge combo attack, taking care of all of these people, hopefully not hitting the townspeople, because that actually makes them run away. So you can ruin the mission really easily if you're not careful. But we got the people we needed, and we have extra coins, which I could give to these people, or I could go fast. So you already know which option I'm taking. But okay, one more in Camelot Castle, and this one we have to rescue the townspeople. But we're not really gonna rescue them. You'll see in a second. So you'll see, first of all, we take out this little tower thing. Probably took a very long time to construct that statue, and I just ruined it. Even my sword is upset at me. But after that, we can jump right into the sewers. And for this level, basically what we have to do is slash against these wooden grate planks. Okay, why did I call it a grate? It's obviously a plank. But anyways, we go through there. We're supposed to take out the enemies because there are literally townspeople cowering in fear right now. But I also don't have time for them. I'm trying to go fast. And right here, this time it's rigged with an explosive, so that's kind of annoying. But we can slice it right there, make it to the goal. There's literally an enemy right in my face, but I don't care because I finished the level. And that unlocks another new area, the Titanic Plane. And this one is fun because it kind of just reminds me of some nice Sonic games. I mean, you're just chilling with Sonic in the nice green area, and it's a pretty simple level. I mean, there are these weird enemy guys, but I don't care about them. Before them, we're going to use a soul surge right there, and we were supposed to go past those bombs. There we go. That's what we wanted to do. So you'll see, we can literally go through gigantic obstacles too. It's not just the tiny ones, which is hilarious. But then we want to go attack one of these guys because you can't actually just go past them. They'll grab you if you try. So you have to take them out, and since we took out one of them, we could slide by the other. See, like that guy right there, he just took hold of me. He's kind of a jerk. But then we'll go for a soul surge while all these people are trying to murder me. And how did I not hit you with 3 strikes there? Okay, dude, just die. Thank you very much. And we also have this Breath of the Wild climbing, or Breath of the Wild wishes it had that good of climbing. Before them making it over here, just completely ignoring some more obstacles. We can also jump past these guys, and I'm pretty sure this is the last big enemy we're going to have to take out. We can use the rest of our soul surge, and then also go through there to get a nice little boost. Now at this point, we have to jump through all of this stuff. I mean, we're not too worried about it, to be honest, because we've dealt with all the hard things in this level. All that's left is for Sonic to just not die. Oh, I guess this part is kind of hard because we have to go up this huge staircase, and there are a bunch of enemies. These guys have huge lances, so I don't want to mess with them at all. I'm just going to jump really high to make sure they don't hit me and make it to the end, which means now it is time for another boss battle. And this time the boss is going to be our boy Knuckles. So for this fight, it's really simple. All I'm going to do is hold forward and swing my remote over and over again. Like, that's literally all I do. We get this nice move, which Knuckles is being a jerk and is dodging a lot, but every once in a while he'll just get hit, and yeah, that was so easy. I'm not kidding. All I did was hold forward and swing my Wii remote. It's awesome. But that's going to open up a whole new area, which is going to be the Crystal Cave. And there are no more of those pesky save the villager missions. Whoever wants to do those. At least not yet, because first we have to explore. Now this is a really cool area. I do like the atmosphere. I feel like I say that about a lot of stuff, but I also want to make sure I do take out a few of the enemies, because as you've seen throughout the video, that does actually fill up the soul surge gauge. Like right here, I can use it for just a bit before I unfortunately come into enemies. But hey, at least it's a little bit of a time save. And then in general, when there are enemies, we just want to go to the right of them, start spamming our dash, you know, go with the old reliable strategy. But after that, we can finally make it to the end of the cave. We just have another one of these Breath of the Wild sections, some more bats we have to get through, and an area with some more of these guys. They do not want me to use my soul surge. I'm just trying to go fast, man. We also have this grabby guy who's a jerk. Yeah, I never want to see that, dude. But with that, it's about to be done with the level. We just got to get through a few more enemies. There is another one of these climbing walls, but this time these guys are going to show up and they're going to try to claw me. They're kind of jerks. And then we have this whole section with all these annoying, please stop hitting me, you are a jerk. And then finally, this is closer to the end of the level. We are going to try to take some of those guys out so we can get a bit of soul surge to use on this dude. And also, these are the best descriptions for enemies. I'm just calling them these guys and this dude, and wow, how am I such a good YouTuber? But anyways, that puts us to the final part of the level where it's just one more big guy until we make it straight to the end. And unfortunately, our next level is rescuing more townspeople. townspeople. I don't know why these people can't do it for themselves. But this one is actually really cool because the townspeople are going to be encased in some like gems. You'll see there's the purple gem right there, and we have this light which we can shine on the gem, and for some reason it just breaks. But we want to take a very specific path because there are 5 different gems that we want to hit. Like if we go in this area, we go past a couple of those people, we can hit straight through that rock. Hopefully not move out of my way, guys. Yeah, they kind of just jump in front of you, but they also die to the light, which is hilarious. I don't really know if they thought that through. But finally, we make it over into this area. I mean, I say finally, but we still have 2 more people. And excuse me, dude. All right, just gonna take care of these people. A little bit of slot. Excuse me. Thank you very much. There's one of these guys straight up on his pedestal. And now it's actually time for the last person. We just have to hit these rocks straight in front of there. That was actually really stylish. I'm proud of myself. Before saving the last person, and we can leave the mission immediately, which opens up another one of these defeat 50 enemies levels. So you already know the drill. There's going to be a lot of townspeople cowering in fear, and I'm going to be the one to save them by mostly trying to use my homing attacks like usual. I mean, those are the fastest thing. They also do give us a bit of a speed boost, even if they are a bit finicky. So we'll make it straight through these guys. This one is actually really annoying though as we're going up the cliff. Like for some reason the homing just doesn't work that well. So I kind of ignore those people more often than not because there's going to be plenty of enemies right at the end. Like with before, I'm not too worried about getting everyone. Especially in parts like this where all these people have glowing crossbows. I don't know if they're shooting like balls of light or if they have light arrows from The Legend of Zelda. Maybe they really were taking inspiration for the Sonic game. But anyways, I'm about done with all 50 of my people. I got it right there. And now there's just a bunch of more clumps of enemies that I have to get through before we make it straight to the end. And that's going to open up another new area, which is going to be the Molten Mine. And this is one of the levels that I have burned into my mind. Like I have such good memories of this. I don't know why this one specifically, but I very clearly remember playing this level. And yeah, it's just a really good one for me. But anyways, we want to defeat a bunch of enemies because obviously that's going to give us some soul surge, and we want to use it right here because if we're not able to use the soul surge there, it's a very slow section where you have to inch your way through the cliff. Hopefully that won't happen at all, so I won't have to show you. But like right here, we can use it and yeah, just go straight through all the stuff. There's also this kind of funny section where all of these blue lights normally do speed you up, but also they stop your soul surge. So it's kind of a weird dynamic where we just kind of keep starting our soul surge and then it stops and then we start it again, and it's just very weird. But then we can use it another time here before getting stopped. That was very annoying. So I guess instead we're just gonna jump on this thing. I have to make this jump, which this jump is actually kind of annoying sometimes, so I'm happy I made that. And with our soul surge that we still have, we can go straight through that stuff before getting stopped by these annoying enemies and make it onto another one of these rail parts where I don't even know what to call these, like magma rocks or something. They're just coming and launching on us. But again, we use the soul surge, go through completely everything except for the lava. I guess that's a little bit more powerful than it. But finally, using the power of just being overpowered, thank you Tails, we get through the level extremely quickly. And that means it's time for another boss. So this is Sir Percival, which I'm forgetting which character this is right now. We'll write something in the future, but basically I want to block their attacks first, and then we're using the exact same strategy as we did with Knuckles, where we just keep holding forward and also spamming the Wii remote. And we'll do this over and over again until finally they take all of the damage and we finish another fight, which means now it's time to open up Avalon and we get to fight King Arthur another time. I don't know why he's so confident when I beat him literally at the beginning of the game. And this one is going to be even funnier. So he starts out with one attack, which we just dodge very easily by moving to the side, and he uses this attack. Now we want to slice it, so then it sends these fireballs right back at him, and I actually messed it up there because I sliced 2 times, so I wasn't fast enough, but it only loses like 10 seconds. So we'll try this one more time where we slice him and we can get right on top of him. Now with this, I want to do the same thing as before, where I time my attacks to when it tells me to, and eventually after doing enough of these attacks, we get into full soul surge mode. But instead of spamming it, if we time it very precisely, you'll see my bar is not going down at all, and it just lets me beat the fight right there. Yeah, we just cheese the entire fight. There's supposed to be so many more phases, but it's already done. Sub 30 minutes. But that is not the end of the actual speedrun. It's like the fake ending because it does show you credits, but there's still a good amount of the game left. So I'll be back once this first credits scene is done. All right, so finally we got to the end of the credits scene, and also during it, I actually looked up who was the character that I forgot. It was Blaze the Cat. I don't know how I forgot that. But anyways, this opens up brand new levels. You'll see there's even a cutscene for it. We don't really care. And all of these these levels are going to be beat the clock. Now for us, that's not really a problem because that's kind of what we've been trying to do this entire time, but it does make for some really cool levels. Now at the beginning, you will see me taking care of all those enemies because like usual, I want to get more soul surges, and especially in this level, it is vital. So we'll jump through all these people. I don't want to knock into them, but right here, we want to use a soul surge, and if we don't have it, we have to do some not really tricky platforming, but very time-consuming platforming. Because in these sewer sections, as you'll see as we jump down right over here, there's going to be different waves of water that normally come at you, and you have to jump above them, dodge that. It's this whole weird thing. So I would rather not do that, and instead just go for the fast option. So I'm going to save some soul surge right over here, and then use it as soon as we get to another sewer section, so we just don't have to worry about that at all. And then finally, this is actually going to be the last one, where there's also these, okay, excuse me, thankfully that was the end. And now we get to another really fun section because it's time to hijack someone's boat. Yeah, I just love doing these. In this one, the obstacles are going to be these weird bird creatures. You probably can't even call these birds. I don't really know what to call them, but we're just going to slash right through them, kill them all nice and easy. Then we have this little section where we just run past. We get to see all the beautiful scenery before going straight back to another boat and doing the exact same thing. Yeah, I don't know why these people are so keen to help me. I guess to be fair, I have been saving them all and stuff like that, but I don't know, if I saw a random blue hedgehog with a sword, I probably wouldn't trust him too much. Anyways, we're just going to chop through all of these different enemies, and it is nice because our soul surge bar is going to get very high, and that's going to be useful as we go on. At least I think it will for this level. I actually don't remember how much more we have, but it's always nice to have it high because might as well. And then we'll go over here, get a really big jump, and then from here it's going to have all of this enemies, but all we have to do is get as high as possible, so then that thing forms and we can just skip past some other stuff nice and easy before going down here. Now from there, it's a little bit of platforming, or I guess that wasn't really platforming, it was just dodging everything. But we have some wall climbing. I mean, we have that at least, except we also only kind of do that before then making it to some enemies and doing another one of our soul surges if my Wii remote will let me. And please, all right, also random boulder if you will let me too. And we make it straight to the end. So that's our first one of these levels, but we have 4 more, and then also 2 bosses, but we'll get to those later. And that level makes it so that we can also use the other characters that were our bosses earlier, you know, like Shadow, Knuckles, and Blaze, but we won't use them just yet because this level is more suited for Sonic. So to start out, I want to get some more soul surge stuff, so I'm just going to kill some people nice and easy. And this level is probably one of the most scary ones for me because it is very easy to lose a ton of time if you're not careful. So for that reason, I'm going to go kind of slow. Okay, not that slow, excuse me. But here is the annoying area. Right here, if you get hit by that jumping lava, then it's going to reset you back to this point, which I guess you just got to see. But that doesn't matter. That time, it was a very quick reset and it didn't really waste any time. But it goes on for a while. Like if I die on any part of this, it's going to reset me right back over there. And obviously, since I'm trying to go fast, probably not the greatest thing in the world. So we want to have a bunch of coins, and we also want to make it through this part very nicely. So I'm really scared of this part. I am definitely going to take my time because I have lost more than my fair share of runs dying to this, and we can finally make that jump, and we're now nice and safe. Thankfully, like... That feels so good to be done with. But now we have some more lava things that are going to shoot up. Thankfully, these won't reset us though, so if we get hit by one, it doesn't really matter. We just lose some coins. And we get another fun ride, but this time we're riding on the lava, which is probably not the safest thing in the world. I don't even know if we had to take this path or if Sonic just wanted to show off. But I mean, it is a pretty cool section, I guess. But I mean, we've been rock climbing for a while. Would that not just be the more efficient way to do it? I guess not efficient, but the probably smarter way. Well, anyways, all right, we're almost done with it. No point in debating Sonic's life choices. So we made it over here, and we're now not in lava, so that's always a good feeling. And there are going to be these geysers of air, which we don't want to get hit up by, because that will waste a tiny bit of time. Before now, it's actually time for another rock wall. So we'll make it all the way over here, and we want to be kind of smart about this, because we can trigger some enemies. So to prevent that, we're going all the way to the top, and then we're just going to go right from here. And there will be some falling boulders, but we don't really care about that. We trigger the enemies right there. We'll just slash them really quick, both of them at the same time, and do pretty much the same thing here. I'm gonna wait out that boulder though, because I very much do not want to get hit by it. And then here, these blocks are kind of weird, so you have to like touch them and then wait a second and they'll explode for you. But sometimes it's a bit finicky. I don't know. This game in general kind of is just a bit finicky. That doesn't make me love it any less though, because like I've said throughout this entire video, this game was awesome when I was a kid. And it's still pretty awesome now, before all the times it's broken my heart. But no point in talking about that, because it's time to move on to the next level. And this one is exciting because we're going to the Shrouded Forest, and this time we're going to be using Shadow. So Shadow is a bit different than Sonic because he's kind of clunkier in some areas. Like, he can't do that same spinning air attack, which lets you kill a bunch of enemies at once. But he has some different moves that are actually nicer than Sonic, so you know, it's just a bit of a trade-off. And in this level, the theme is basically these jumping places where we jump off of, we get some Soul Surge, and then we kind of just go past. But we will want plenty of Soul Surge throughout this entire level because, like usual, it's just really nice. Also, there are these slapping trees, which I do not know how I didn't have more Soul Surge there, but I guess that's fine. And this area where we want to defeat some more enemies because we want to fill up our bar. You know, pretty much just the same old usual stuff. Okay, I don't want them to defeat me, though. I was trying to get those coins. Let's hope I don't die here. That was a little too close for comfort. But now there are going to be these weeds that pop out of the ground, and that was also too close for comfort. I really need to stop almost dying. I just said I really need to stop almost dying. Excuse me, trees. Okay. Okay, that's fine. It didn't lose too much time. You know, not exactly what I wanted. But we have gone way too far, and my wrist hurts way too much to end the run here. So we'll take the 20-second time loss. And this time, we'll just go straight through it. I mean, it really wasn't that hard. But anyways, time for some more shadow time. So we get more of these really annoying vines, which I don't really know what else to call them. They're just annoying. But to dodge them, we can jump on those things, go right past them. And I mean, in general, if we're kind of smart, it should be fine. I've played through this game so many times at this point, it shouldn't be a problem. But I feel like I say that a lot on this channel, and it's not always true. But there we go. We made it through those ones, and that was actually the worst of it, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now, all I have to do is make it past these enemies and not die, which this is another one of those really scary levels, which I've died on way too many times and lost way too many runs on. So hey, I'm gonna take it. We made it through, which means we're going to the Great Megalith, and we're gonna be using Shadow again. Now, this one is back in the Great Plains, which, like I said before, has some nice scenery, also has some really annoying enemies, but we're basically just gonna try to dodge those. We also have these rocks we can jump off. That's always a fun time, and I am just remembering what happens in this level. Okay, I cannot mess up here at all. So they constructed these gigantic buildings. I'm not sure how we didn't see these last time, but I just want to be careful. Like, I'm gonna take my time. I mean, to a certain extent, I still am speedrunning, but I want to make sure I have as many coins as possible because I really don't want to ruin this run right now. So anyways, we have to make it through this grabby guy. I feel like that's the best name for them, honestly, but we're gonna slash him a couple times, make it through, do a nice little jump. And we also see these gigantic cages. Maybe that's kind of concerning, but I guess it's not Shadow's concern. And here is a really good point where we want to have our Soul Surge, and I used it a little too late, so that's kind of annoying, but it should still be fine. Basically, if you do use your Soul Surge there, the spiders won't have time to spawn, so it does save me a little bit of frustration, but whatever. Then we get to this point where there's some more of these Lance guys, and I've already said how much I really don't like them, so I'm just going to try to hit above them. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a lot of trapped villagers in cages. Sorry guys, I gotta go fast. I'm so sorry. I actually feel kind of bad for that. But anyways, I mean, we're almost done with the level. If these spiders will get out of my way, please. And in this part, pretty much all we want to do is hit these walls with one of our air attacks. So we can just go slice that a few times, make it up to this next one. And this time we actually want to use a Soul Surge because we do have to kill this enemy, and it also lets us teleport right through the wall. But the other ones, we just want to hit them through. And excuse me guys, I really don't feel like talking to you because I'm making it straight to the goal where we can finish off our next level. And this opens up a brand new area, which is going to be the Dragon's Lair. So we're back in the crystal mines, but this level is very annoying, okay? Because you see those little platforms that are collapsing? Yeah, as we go through this level, they're going to appear at the most inopportune times, and they're also going to spawn these guys, and it is very frustrating to try to do this level first try. So I really hope we can get it. But anyways, we're just going through some spiders. They keep spawning. It's actually really awkward. Like, I'm just trying to go fast, guys, please. Then there's this big guy. You know, he's also really awkward. Like, I'm just trying to kill please. But I mean, not too much to say about this level, other than I'm really scared of the ending. I mean, there are big guys. They also completely missed me. Like, did you see that hit? He really tried there and just had no success. Oh, there is this cool area, though, where we're facing off against a thunder dragon, and for some reason, it gives us a platform which we can, like, walk on, I guess. So, I mean, that's cool. I do like that. And we also want to get some more soul surge because, like you saw before, we can actually use our soul surge once we get to a certain point. So I can use it right there, probably not electrocute my feet anymore. And I also want to make sure that I get tons of coins because once we get onto our third part of this lightning bolt, here's where it's going to get a tiny bit more risky, where there are going to be more enemies showing up. So what I can do is just this move where I do my little like spin shadow move. It's pretty cute. And after we make it through that guy, we are perfectly safe. Well, I guess not perfectly safe because we still have more collapsing ground to go through, like in this part. So like I said before, very scary to do this. I mean, this one isn't too bad, but I still don't really like it. I'm going to take my time by slashing all of those people. And here is the part where it is terrifying. So first of all, we get all of those spiders. Then we jump off. Okay. Yeah, look, I warned you. As long as it doesn't happen again, we'll be fine. Look, my wrist hurts way too much to restart this speedrun, and we still have a really good time. I'm actually pretty proud of it, so if we can make it through it with just this one more try, I will be fine. And to do that, what we have to do is take care of all these guys. There's going to be this big guy as well, and as soon as we get through him, we will be fine, but there are a bunch of spiders trying to attack me at the same... Please move. I have 0 HP. Give me a coin. Okay, we have 1 coin. Just, guys... I'm done. Please, thank you. We made it through the level. That was so stressful. Well, anyways, time for a dragon fight. Yeah, I mean, you didn't think they would only have 1 dragon fight in this game, did you? But to start it out, first of all, we just have to kind of run through this area. I don't really know why they added this. They also added this annoying part, like, why are you having the collapsing ground? Just let me fight the dragon. But doesn't really matter. We can collect some coins and stuff like that, which may come in useful. I mean, if I play badly. But I already know I'm gonna get this first try. But he's going to use a bunch of fireballs. We're gonna have to dodge out of the way, and it's actually really easy in this first phase. Before using our soul surge, we can go straight up to him, hit him 3 times with our sword, and he's going to retreat. That means we jump right back down, and he shows up again. Like, does he want to fight or does he not want to fight? I don't really understand. But in this one, there are going to be enemies that also spawn, and his attacks are going to be a tiny bit more complicated. But yeah, we just basically get through the enemies, we go right up to him, and we hit him 3 times, so he retreats again. Like, I do not understand this plan. Just stay in your cave. Why are you even trying to fight me? I don't understand. But anyways, it's time for the last one. There are going to be more enemies. There's going to be the complicated fireball attacks, and these ones get even harder. And in this part, excuse me, I was trying to explain this. Anyways, in this part, what we have to... Excuse me. Okay, in this part, what we have to do is actually slice this pillar, which when he tries to roar on us, we'll just use a soul surge, get straight back. We can hit it a few more times, and that's going to cause the pillar to collapse, do a little domino effect, and hit off his horn, defeating the boss. Which leads us into the final fight, which is going to be against the actual boss of this game. It opens up the Dark Hollow, and now it's time to take out the Dark Queen. So the Dark Queen is going through her nice transformation into something terrifying. And I also have a nice transformation where I'm golden, so that's pretty cool. So to start out for this one, I want to just randomly attack her attacks. And okay, I had to do one more attack. All right, that's a bit embarrassing. And then I want to do the same thing that I always do, where I just hit that one before then going into a soul surge, and I completely messed that up. So there's a certain tempo you have to do right there to get the maximum amount of damage. And I messed it up because I haven't been to this fight in a bit. So we're going to try it again. I'm going to go for my soul surge. We'll start hitting her. Okay, I promise I've played this fight before, trust me. But you know what they say, 3rd time is the charm. So we're gonna go straight at her. Hopefully I can get a bit of a better attack, please. I am very disappointed in myself. Okay, Sonic, you wanna... Oh, she was 1 hit with that phase. That's actually kind of annoying. Anyways, she has 3 phases like most of the bosses. You know, if we hit her all the times we needed to within that 1 phase, you would have seen it. But anyways, we can go for the 2nd phase, and I'm gonna ace it this time. All right, yeah, I have the tempo down a little bit better, so we're just gonna keep doing this tempo. And was this really that hard for me? But anyways, that puts us through the 2nd phase, and there's only 1 more to do. I'm feeling pretty confident. I think we can one-shot it to finish it off. I'm gonna go for 1 last soul surge, and a little bit awkward, a little bit hot in here, you know? Anyways, as I was saying, let's just have it nice, and there we go. We finally have defeated her. But we're not going to end off time yet because we still got to do the finishing blow, even if it's kind of just a cinematic. She can be withering in pain, and you'll see this is actually one of my favorite parts of the game. So she's just dying right here. Legitimately, she's dying, and Sonic gives her the thumbs up. I love Sonic. So that's gonna end our time with 5720, but that's actually not our real time, because our real time is shown within the game files, and it's going to be a 4216. That gets rid of the loads and all of that, which is gonna place us nice and comfortably at 11th place. All right, subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye.